Good morning, everyone. This is Claudia from Texas, the XJW Witness. I am up this morning at 10 o'clock or so, almost 11 o'clock, just reflecting on some of the ways of thinking that I used to have that I was taught through the Jehovah's Witnesses. I was taught a lot of things that may not be correct about marriages, family, friends, work, different things in general that I'm working on now to try to correct. Um, I'm not good at these videos. It took me a whole lot to even get brave enough to turn the camera on. Sometimes I'll start writing a script about my thoughts so I don't forget them, but I do apologize. I'm not the best speaker yet, but I'm doing this as a way to face my truths and as a form of therapy. I have been back and forth trying my best to please others my whole life. And one thing that Jehovah's Witnesses teach you to do is to be a people pleaser. They don't teach you to get to know yourself, to do for yourself, self-care. Right now, I'm in counseling. I'm getting counseling for abusive relationship. I've been through several due to not really coping with abuse as a child and seeing it growing up. And Jehovah's Witnesses tell you a lot of things that are not correct, like how to discipline your children. They tell you that spankings are okay for your kids. To me, you have to use discernment with that. They tell you you're supposed to stay in a marriage that could potentially be dangerous for your health, literally or mentally, or both, or could be fatal. They don't have a lot of support groups for a person to turn to if they need to leave, if they're in a dangerous situation. It's a misogynist organization. They really don't care too much about women or the children there. So the best thing that I can tell people is to start looking into that and looking in the mirror each day and saying, is it worth me being a part of a cult to give up my whole life and even my soul, literally or figuratively? Or would it be the best thing for me to get my kids out of that type of arrangement or cult situation before it's too late? I do know growing up, a lady, her name was Pam, and she committed suicide because she was taught that uh, well, they don't believe in blood transfusions, but she didn't want her parents to suffer and be taunted and pushed into making her take a blood transfusion even when she was asleep or whatever, or when they just had the choice to do it. She was 25. She just didn't want to see her family be judged for perhaps being forced into giving her blood. She had sickle cell anemia at the time, so she went ahead and took her life as a precaution to save her parents' Jehovah's Witness reputation. They were an elder, and the wife was a pioneer and that kind of thing at the time. But I do know of people that have literally taken their lives due to Jehovah's Witnesses in their teachings. And I do know that the blood issue, you know, has changed. They have changed policies on blood many times back then. That was several years ago, but I've seen that they allow you to take different portions of it now and things like that. But back then they didn't let you take even the portions. That was in the 70s and 80s. She was 25 years old. She could have probably taken some of that. I don't know. I know a lot of kids and young adults that have been through health problems and social services, and their families had to deal with the state. Due to the teachings of Jehovah's Witnesses saying, oh, no, you're not allowed to give your kids blood, or you're not allowed to allow them to be around certain treatments, this, that, and the other, or, and they changed their reasonings in doctrine several times when it comes to blood, healthcare, and family things, the 144,000, what that means. They always come up with new light New light that has caused, to me, Jehovah's Witnesses are a lot more blood guilty than they want to admit as far as having new light. The true God, the universal God, the God, the divine, would not change his mind about so many things like Jehovah's Witnesses do. Change their mind on things that could be life-threatening or life-saving, literally, to someone, their children or their loved one, their wife, their husband, their child. That's something to think about. I really do know for a fact that Jehovah's Witnesses can be very, very dangerous and are a dangerous group to be a part of. Thank you. I just wanted to share that with you. Have a blessed day.